Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a long video. I'm going to warn everybody right off the bat. I'm Earl, and this is the type of stuff that I do here. Is we do board games, playing sports, and that's what this channel is about. Tabletop Baseball Plus. But um, this video, as I said, is going to be a little long compared to usual because what I've decided I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go from start to finish. I haven't set up the teams. We're just going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to turn this camera down to the table and we're just going to play through it. And so be it. However it goes, it goes. So the story goes. Anyway, Arsenal, a London team. They will be the home team against Manchester City, traveling from up north in England, and they will be fighting it out on the pitch here in this crazy Prem Cup. Again, this is the Premier League teams from the 2017-2018 season, and we're doing kind of a World Cup. So there's 4 groups, 5 teams in each. It's a little different because 20 is not ideal for doing a World Cup draw. It'd be 16 would be better, 16 or 32, but we're making the best of it. So I'm going to go ahead and, as I talk about here, turn this down. So and I'm hoping that my sound is working just fine. We'll see. I have a way to check here. So while I do this, just so these are the fast action cards here. I've done this kind of thing before, but I'm not sure I've set up the teams and everything in the same video. So, and let's see if I get some sound here once I get through all of the layers. Yep, I hear sound, so we're good. I'm going to go ahead and close that out. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look here. Nothing. So like I said, this is going to be a little bit long. So what I always do here is I do a nominal check for each team. I have the top 11 players, and then I have a bench of 7 players, which is typical. And I'm keeping track of yellow cards, red cards, and then I'm also doing a fitness check. So we do have some variability in terms of which players will play in each game. But we're going to start here with Arsenal, and they currently are on 2 yellows. Xhaka got a yellow in game 1, and Mesut Ozil in game 2. So now the thing about yellow cards is that if you accumulate 2 in the competition, you end up suspended. Although I do believe that I'm going to do it where they get your record gets cleared after the group stage. So, but I've already had in some other games where we've had red cards, which means that you're out for the game, but also the next game as well. And also yellow card accumulation has impacted some other teams. So for Arsenal, what I do is I roll one of these fast action cards, and you can see here it says like 41 at the top. Well, I take the first number of those because that's basically a 2-die roll. So when I do that, I get 42. So because it's a 4, that means I go, if it's 1 to 3, there's no needed fitness checks. If it's 4 to 6, then you have 1. And so we're going to force, unless they have a rating of 3 for injury or less, then they get to play. But if they're 3 injury or more, or 4 or more, then they have to sit. So we roll another one and we look at this number down here, which is the player ID. So it's 3. Probably not going to be ruled out. So player 3 is Koscielny, Laurent Koscielny, one of the defenders, and he is a 12, which is means he missed greater than 10%. That was sort of my cutoff, was the 10% mark. So Koscielny is going to be the one who is going to have to sit out. I'm going to go back to my drive here, and I got to look up the other portion where I have sort of my depth charts to try and take a look at who we would replace Koscielny with. I'm thinking it might be Per Mertesacker. So it would either be, it could be Mertesacker, it could be Holding, it could be Chambers. So we're going to actually go out of this pile here, which is we're going to go to Callum Chambers. He's the most, and so that means I'm going to have to take somebody out of and I'm going to take Mertesacker out of the other deck. So we're going to use Callum Chambers instead, and so that gives us, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then Koscielny is the 7th, so he's going to be available off the bench, but probably will not play unless it ends up that Arsenal is in front. Maybe they would bring him in to try and close out the game. So now what we need to do from there is we take the remaining players in order of their offensive rating, which shows up right here. Let's see, for Lacazette, he's a 14, so he will be first, and then Xhaka, Iwobi, Ozil, Aubameyang, Wilshere, Bellerin, Kolasinac, Mustafi. Callum Chambers will go right at the very end, well, right before Peter Cech. So that's going to be Arsenal's team. Now I got to write all this stuff down. So that takes a moment here. So what I would use is I would use either Who Scored or football-lineups.com. So whoscored.com or football-lineups. And do some personal analysis of who played where and when and all that stuff, and try to formulate a plan of attack as far as how you would use the players for each team. I mean, that's kind of the way that, it's basically the way I did it. Mustafi. Chambers is, so in theory, Arsenal is really going with a three-man line, three-man back line. Chambers, Mustafi, and actually, no, I guess they're going with a 4 because Bellerin is the other back. So you got Bellerin. So it's going to be 4. Just did this a little differently. That's quite all right. So you got a forward for Lacazette. Xhaka's midfield. Iwobi's midfield. Ozil midfield. Aubameyang is a forward. Midfield and then defense the whole way back. And the goalie. So my take on the offensive numbers, which is how these are stacked up, is kind of like the analysis of maybe touches in a game. That'd be, I guess, my primary guess on how that works out. But, all right, so this is it's a 4-4-2, so it's a total of 22. And I usually do an analysis of and write these things down in order. I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way, the way I used to do it. 23322. 3322 and 0. Actually, he zeros across and then 4 for injury. So then suffered 23122. 51111. Assist is 47584. Whoops. And then 33410. Okay, and then injury. I'm not going to worry about injury ratings. I'm just going to let that be. I'll figure it out as we go. All right, so now Manchester City. 24, so I'll go with the first choice team here. And so it's going to be Sterling, De Bruyne, Aguero, Sane, Silva. Let me see. Is that right? That doesn't seem right. Gundogan, Otamendi, Walker, Delph, Company. Sterling on a yellow. He's the only guy with disciplinary problems at the moment for Manchester City. So let's write it down here. De Bruyne, Aguero, Sane, Silva, Gundogan, Gundogan, I think you say that. The German guy, how about that? Company. And Ederson, goalie, Brazilian. All right. So it's forward, midfield, forward, midfield, defense. So actually, they're playing more 3-5-2. I guess is how you would knock that down. So that would be 21. So 3-2-1-2-2. 1-2-1-2-3. And we got 0s and 2 for Ederson. All right, 4-2-2-2-3. Gundogan. 2-2-1-2-0. And then the assists 11, 16. Holy mackerel. De Bruyne is a 16 assist. Sane's 15. Silva 11. So most of their shots get they make great passes, I guess is the way you put it. Okay, so we're all set here. I'm not going to do, like I said, we're not going to do the injuries. We will have Granit Xhaka be the guy who's going to be doing the corners and the free kicks. Actually, we will have Ozil do the free kicks and Xhaka the corner kicks. And we will have De Bruyne do both for Manchester City. And before I get started, I'm going to take a look at the live stream. No comments, but that's how it stands. So we're going to get moving here. This will move. I'm going to try and move this as quickly as I can. Not the easiest game to do that in, but I need another one of my sheets. So the way I do it here is this is my stat compilation at the end. So I keep two forms. This is my stat compilation. And this is my game track, match tracking. As you can see, I didn't get this set up right away. So Arsenal is team defense at 3, Manchester City team defense at 4. So they'll be a little bit better. Equal team ratings. So that's and they both have high clutch point availability. I've really lately been using that only at the end and basically annihilating the clutch points if a red card comes up. So basically sacrificing it. Might as well just do this so I'm doing it right off the bat. Okay, so I keep the one off to the side here. You can't see it because I have the zones up there. You know what else? Also just raising this up just a tad. So you can see a few more of the cards and how I have it set up here. Right here I have a chart for all the chart checking stuff. I condensed it. So, okay, for the first roll it is, so 14 means the home team will get the kickoff. So Arsenal will kick it off. To Zone E, and it's going to be Kolasinac in Zone E. So we get a 32. So 21. Oh, I didn't choose the. I knew I was forgetting something. We're going to have Arsenal. We're going to have both teams using 4-4-2 or basically neutral strategy to start. So a 21. So it's 32. That's 21. In E is going to be a pass. Actually, a dribble to Zone D for Kolasinac. And then 22 is a 4 in D. So he's going to take a shot from D. So as you can see, there's no modification in the 0. You can see down in that little left-hand corner at the bottom. It says zones D is 0. So Kolasinac is a 31 shot. So let's see, no pass made. So there's no assist variable. So it's just going to be his shot on goal rating. We flip it, and whatever the roll is, if it's 31 or less, it's a shot on goal. If it's 32 or above, it's off target. It's 52, so it's an off target chance. And then we check the missed shot, and it's going to be a goalkeeper outlet. So Ederson will outlet that into Zone E. And it's going to be player 10 for Manchester City. So Company gets it for the Blues. And 53 is a 41 in E. So that's going to be a defensive check and a let me double check here. Header to F automatically, and it's going to be won by the higher. Well, so because the team ratings are 0, the loose ball chart is going to be a 50-50 split. The home team is the higher, so Arsenal will gain possession, and so that's going to be in Zone X. And so it will be an X with 42, which is 21 in X is F9. We could choose the player if we want to take a chance, but we're not going to do it. So this is Mustafi in F, 31, 23 in F is F9 again. So he passes it back and forth with his teammate. He gets it back. 23 in F is another F9. So he's got control of this for a bit. 61 from Mustafi is 39 in F. It's a header to D. So a defensive check header to D, and they will lose it this time to Manchester City. X10. So that's going to be Company again. 53, that's the same thing. Header to F. And they still lose it. So X7, so that's going to be Bellerin for Arsenal. And X 60, so 30 and X is a defensive check. We go off of the rated 4, and 33 is going to be a steal straight to E. That'd be player 5, which is David Silva for Manchester City. He's got that in E, and it's going to be a shot taken by David Silva from zone E. So you subtract 1 from his 32 rating. So that is a 31, and it's a 15, so that is a shot on goal. Peter Cech, 54. That's going to be a special result. And we roll at 21 is great save, goal kick. So what I do is I call that a goalkeeper outlet, because if you have a great save, you rarely would get a goal kick off of that. So it's going to be like it's going to be basically a punt. So it's going to be a goalkeeper outlet to E for Arsenal, and it's going to be E3. So it will be an E. Will he be able to get a shot off here? 13. 46 is going to be out of bounds, and so there's going to be a throw-in for Manchester City. We're in the 8th minute, no score. Throw-in, it's going to be X6, so it's going to be Gundogan. 53 is 41 X, and it's a header to X. Maintained by Manchester City, so they're going to keep it an X3. So that'll be Sergio Aguero and X. And a special result with a 56 is going to be an injury for Manchester City. So let's see how that works out. So the way we do an injury is we go from the player ID, and it's going to be off of the team that rolled the special result. So it's going to be player 7 for injury-wise. So injury, it's going to be, so it's easier to go back from 11. So it's going to be 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. It's going to be Kyle Walker. And he is a 6 injury rated guy. So then we take a look at the chart, which shows that we're going to do one of those first numeral rolls. And so he's a 6. So as long as, if it's a 1 or a 2, it's a 4. So that's going to be the rest of the game for Walker. So we're going to have to push a sub in there for Kyle Walker. So basically how we treat that is it's going to be Arsenal ends up getting the ball and kicking it out, and it's going to end up or Manchester City actually kicks it out, and then they will get a throw in at that point. So Kyle Walker is a right defender, usually. So if Danilo is here, we would use him, but he's not. It's either Laporte or, let's see, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we're going to use Laporte. So it's going to be off will be Walker. On will be Laporte. Ninth minute, so an early injury for Walker. 3-1-0-20. Okay, and so we need to put him in order, and since he is at right back, he would probably be a little more advanced than Company. So we will put him ahead of him at 9. All right, so Manchester City is going to get a throw in now. It's going to be X10. So it'll be Company throwing in an X. 1637 and X is going to be a header to D possibly. Can they retain possession? No, they do not. So Arsenal gets an X, and it'll be Wilshere. Looking to build, and here's another special result. 25 player dribbles past defenders, takes a shot with a weaker foot. Goalkeeper easily handles the shot. Continue play with a goalkeeper outlet. So we're going to put, I'm going to say D6 shot Wilshere. On target, goalkeeper outlet. So it's going to be Ederson outletting. It's going to be F10. So Company, who's had the ball a bit here in the early going, F16. That's going to be another header to D. Can they retain it this time? Check the loose ball chart, and they do not. Arsenal getting some breaks there, so it's going to be Iwobi in X. 13th minute, no score. 46 is going to be 32 in X. That's a check for defense. 62 is a block to D and lost. So Manchester City X9. So Laporte just in. Going to play that. 24 in X is going to be still going to be X9. And so a 1 in X is going to be B1. So a good pass up to Sterling in zone B. And a 15 is a 7 in B is going to be a shot from just about 20 yards out from Sterling. Let's see if he can get it on target. You get to add 3. And also the passes from Laporte, he's a 0 assist. So we don't have to worry about that. But he is a 33, and then you add 3 more. So that's going to be 36. And it's 62, so that's a shot that is off target, but it's going to lead to a corner kick for the Citizens. So 15th minute, no score, but it's going to be De Bruyne swinging in. He's a corner kick A rated guy. It's going to be a pass to B off the corner kick, and it'll be to Gundogan. That's 21, which is going to be 23 in B. So B3, Aguero in B. 44 is going to be another shot attempt. Leads to 5, which is a shot attempt for Aguero. Lethal finisher. 35, and then you get to add another 3, so that's going to make it 42. It's 31. That's a shot on goal, and it's going to be... Now, see, what we could do here is we could either decide to use clutch points for Arsenal. It would cost them 5, but it would give them an almost certain attempt or chance to save it. Or they just take their chances, and they're going to take their chances. It's 25, which is the number 1. That's a goalkeeper outlet, so he does make the save, and he's going to outlet it. 16th minute, no score. A couple of shots on goal here. Goalkeeper outlet to D2, so Xhaka in D. 51. 33 in D is going to be a defensive check. Manchester City's defense has been strong, and it's going to be a steal to C with a team defense of 4. So C3. So Aguero in C for Manchester City. They've got it up to him, and he gets a 33, which is going to be another shot. That's the number 3 shot for Aguero. He's going to get another chance at this. Only a 1 modifier this time. So that's going to take him up to 36, and it's 51. That's off target for Aguero. But another corner kick. So De Bruyne passes it to A, and it will be Aguero who gets it. Can he get a shot off here again? 11, yes, that will be another shot, and he's got the highest modifying that you can get, because not only is he getting the 5 from zone A, which brings him up to 44, he gets another 5 because De Bruyne swung in the corner kick, and he is greater than 9. So you get a total of 10 advantage. So you get 44 up to 53. And it's a 26. That's a shot on goal. And then you get 45, which is going to be a rebound, a save and a rebound to zone A. Can Arsenal get a hold of it? And it's an L, so they do not. It's retained by Manchester City in A. And it will be Sterling in A. And a 22, he'll get another shot. Manchester City is all over it. Sterling with the chance here. He's rated 33. Of course, you get the 5. Now, you're not going to get any assist jump, though. So it's going to be 42 is his rating for this. And it's 43, so it's off target, just barely missing. But it's going to go back out again off the defender for a corner kick. Manchester City pouring it on here. De Bruyne swings another. It's going to be a pass to B with an automatic shot. So find out who in B. It's going to be 5, so it'll be David Silva. So it's a shot for Silva in B, plus you get the 5 from De Bruyne for his assist. So B is 3, so that's going to be 35, 44. And it's 56. That's off target as well. And that's over. And that will be a goal kick. So Arsenal survive into the 21st minute. An onslaught from the citizens, but nothing to show for it. They're going at them. The away team is just has really poured in some shots. So now a goal kick for Arsenal. That is D4. Ozil in D. So 35 is 32 in D. Is going to be a defensive check. 52, header to E. And that is going to be lost. So the Manchester City gets X6. So Gundogan. X of 33 is a 3. So in X, that's a B, pass to B to Aguero. 45 is 36 in B is going to be a defensive check. And we are out of cards now, so we're going to have to do something about that. So Arsenal team defense 3 with 52 is a header to X. So in the 22nd minute, I'm going to have to take a short break here to shuffle. Double check the... There's no comments so far, so... Lively matchup so far. Pretty much one-way traffic up to this point. Arsenal does have a shot on goal, but I think Manchester City has 3 on goal and maybe 5 altogether. And really that was just in the last 10 minutes. So a few more shuffles and then we'll get going. We'll find out who wins this header X. Just a little under halfway through the first period here. Okay. So the header to X is going to be retained by Manchester City because it says the lower rated team. So X10. So company. 26 is 24, and X is going to be an X9, so he passes it to Laporte. 32 is going to be a defensive check, and that's going to be a steal to X for Arsenal in the 23rd minute. And it'll be Mustafi. Arsenal has not had much of the ball to start, and that 36 in X is going to be a potential header to B. See if they can win it here. No, they do not. They lose it to Manchester City. It'll be X7. So it'll be Otamendi in X, 54. So that's a special result. 25. That's the same one we had before. So it's still going to be the... Yeah, so that's going to be, again, we're going to have him go into D. It's going to be a shot for Otamendi, on goal, and then Czech is going to do the goalkeeper outlet, E5. Okay, so that's going to be Aubameyang in A. So that's a 7, or no, an E. 7 in E is going to be a B2. So a good pass to Xhaka. 26 is going to be a foul. Finally a foul, and it's going to be suffered by Xhaka. Committed. Player 7. So 11, 10, 9. So Otamendi. And no card for that. So Arsenal gets a free kick in B. So a great chance here. It's going to be Ozil taking it. And it's going to be a pass to A. And it'll be Wilshere in A. 66 is a shot. So a shot for Wilshere from A. Golden opportunity. So he's a 31. Ozil is an 8. So that's going to add 3. So that makes it 34. And then you're an A. So that's going to make it 43. And it is off target. And it's going to lead to a corner kick. Xhaka B-rated corner kick. Pass to B. Wilshere again. This time in B. 15 is 34. 15 is the norm. It can be a good shot or pass number, but if when they're not so good, they don't get that one. So it's going to be 34, and so that's going to be a defensive check. Steal to X. And it will be Delph for Manchester City. It's the 29th minute, no score. 24 in X. That's a 41. It's going to be a header to X. Retained by Manchester City in X. X7. So Otamendi. So that's going to be a pass to B1. So a good pass for Otamendi. Sterling in B. 62 is going to be a foul suffered by Sterling. So tough tackle there by Callum Chambers. No card, but that's going to be a free kick in B. It's going to be De Bruyne taking it. That's going to be a shot attempt. So he is a 33, and then you get to add 3. So that makes it 36. 25 is on target. What happens here with check? 23 is a 10. That is a goal. He curls it in. Kevin De Bruyne gets the free kick goal. No assist. That's 1-0 for Manchester City. One nothing to the Citizens in the 31st minute. Take a short little sidebar here because I'm thirsty. So, any comments? Nope. You have a couple views, 1 like. So hit like if you are watching this and you are liking the action. We're going to add a minute at the end because also you could leave a comment if you like the action. But I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna add an extra minute at the end because of the goal. Usually that teams will celebrate for that long. So kickoff for Arsenal. They're down 1, the home team here. So the kickoff is B3 for Arsenal. So that's Iwobi in B. And it's a 16:42 in B is going to be a header. It's going to make its way into A. Can they get it? They do not. X5. So Manchester City gets it. That's Silva in X. 61 is a 46 in X, which is out of bounds. So it's going to be a throw-in for Arsenal. Sorry, I just got a new toy, and it's a watch. So, so a throw in for Arsenal. That'll be a D7. So Bellerin for Arsenal in D. 39 in D is going to be a defensive check for Manchester City, and it's going to be a header to F. Won by Manchester City, so they're going to get it in X, X3. So Aguero in X, 34th minute. 41 for Aguero is going to be 26 in X. That's a defensive chance for Manchester City. 13 is going to be a steal to B. So can they mount a charge here on the break? So it's going to be Xhaka in B. But it's a 13, and so that's going to be lead to a 37, which is another defensive check. So they cannot capitalize. And then Manchester City steals it to F. And it'll be Gundogan in F. 14, 31 in F is going to be another defensive check. 34 is a steal to X, and 7 Bellerin. For Arsenal. 45. 22 in X is going to be F10. So that's Chambers in F. 52. 23 in F is going to be X8. So Kolasinac in X. 53. 43 in X is going to be out of bounds. So 37th minute. Throw in for Manchester City. B2. So they throw it in and going to have an opportunity here with De Bruyne. 44 is a 5 in B, so that is a shot. The goal scorer is going to get another glorious opportunity here. 33, and you add 3, so that's 36. 32 is a shot on goal, and 23 is goal again. And this was after the shuffle. I think we had the 23 check as well, so that is another goal. De Bruyne plants at the far post, and it is 2-0 Manchester City. The home Gunner fans are not happy about this right now. And it's the top assist player which is De Bruyne, so it's going to be unassisted as well. 38th minute, a brace for De Bruyne. And Arsenal is going to have to up the pace here. They're going to go up to the 4-3-3 setting. Manchester City is going to stay 4-4-2. They're not going to get conservative at all here. So we're going to add another minute of stoppage time. But Arsenal now in a world of hurt. Kickoff for Arsenal. D5. So Aubameyang in D. 16 is 28 in D. It's going to be E4. So Ozil in E. 55 is a 6 in E, which is going to be a shot. Not a very good shot, but you can get subtract 3 from the 31, and it came from Aubameyang, who's a 4. So you get to add 1 to make it 32, but then you have to subtract 3. So that makes it 25. There's 35, so that's off target, but it's a corner kick. So is Xhaka going to swing in a corner here? That is a pass to B. B1, so it's going to, and a shot. So Lacazette is going to have an opportunity here for a shot. And depending on what happens here, so his shot is from B, it's 36, and then you get to add 3 for Xhaka and 3 because it's B. So that makes it 46. And it is on goal, and Manchester City is going to use 5 clutch points to make it what is called the 11 to 63 save opportunity. So they're going to go from 10 down to 5, but they're going to use those clutch points to try and fend this off. So as long as it's not 64, 65, or 66, this is going to be saved. It is 46, so that is a save. And what we do is we call that a goalkeeper outlet. And so what would that have been? 46, that would have actually been a rebound to B. So he would have saved that anyway, but that's part of the strategy with the clutch points is when do you use them? So a goalkeeper outlet is F1. So Sterling and F. 12, 42 is going to be a header to F. Loose ball is retained by Manchester City. And I gobbed that up. Manchester City's won their fair share of them here. Even though it's a 50-50 chance. So F8. So it's Delph and F. 44 is not going to be any shot attempt. 42 in F is going to be a header to F. And they again get to retain it. F9 is going to be Laporte. 22 is going to be 37 in F. And that's going to be a defensive check block to F. Retained by Manchester City. They're winning all these 50-50s. And it's going to be Company. 33 is a 3 in F, which is going to be a shot. This is a prayer of a shot for Company. It's going to be down to 14, and it's 45. So Company with the missed shot, and it's going to lead to a goalkeeper outlet for Arsenal. In the 43rd minute, 2-0 Manchester City. Goalkeeper outlet D10. So it's going to be Chambers in D. 22 is 4 in D, so he's going to get a shot. He's 25, no adjustment. Can he get a shot off here? 14, that is a shot on goal. 31 is 3, so that's a rebound to D. So Ederson makes the save. Rebound to D, and Arsenal retains it. And it's going to be Xhaka in D who gets it. Xhaka, 26, is going to be a foul suffered. committed by player 2 for the foul committed. So that's going to be 1, 2. That's going to be Raheem Sterling. Already on a yellow card. Not on a yellow card in this game, but he is in yellow trouble from a previous game, but he does not get it there. So Arsenal with a free kick in D. Pass to C1. So Lacazette in C. 56 is 31 in C. Is going to be passed to E for Ozil. Going the wrong way, and then that is going to be a shot for Ozil in E. So subtract 3 from his. And it is a pass from Lacazette, who's a 4, so you get to add 1 as well. So 32, but subtract 3, it's back down to the 25 mark. And it's off target anyway. Goalkeeper outlet. I'm going to have to do a shuffle here. We still have another minute of stoppage time before we get to halftime. It's 45 plus 1. 2-0 is the score. Manchester City, the away team, on top. So, aside from having to shuffle the cards about 3 times a game, not too shabby. Hopefully this game will be finished by 5. We'll have some substitutes in the second half, although we already had one for Manchester City as Kyle Walker was injured early in the first half, 9th minute. Picked up an injury. So we're going to do one more shuffle here, and then we'll go. Get another minute in the books, and then we will call it for the half. Below the 3 whistles, send them to the locker rooms for their team talks. Arsenal's manager will not be too happy. So the goalkeeper outlet for Manchester City is a D5. Silva and D. Last thing before the half. 46 is going to be a foul. Suffered by Silva. Committed by... Well, it's going to be... It would have to be... It would be check. We will say check. As long as you don't have... Yeah. So that would be a red card. Arsenal is going to have to use 5 of their clutch points to fend off this yellow. Actually, not 5. They're going to use 4. So they're 9. They're down to 5. And they're going to turn it into a yellow. So it's going to be Czech getting the yellow. He must have charged out of his box and clipped. Who was that? Silva. And so it's going to lead to a free kick, and this is going to be the last action. It's going to be from D, and it's going to be De Bruyne. It's a pass to B. We'll let this play out. 10. It's going to be Company. Probably not going to lead to anything. 12, so we're just going to say that's it. End of the first half. Whistles blown. Arsenal so far, the Blues of Manchester are ahead of the Gunners of North London. 2-0 is the score. And we got to make the change over here too. Each team has 5 clutch points left. So check with a yellow. The only discipline in the first half. Manchester City uses 5 points on a save. on a near guaranteed save. And Arsenal will make a halftime substitution. They're going to bring in Danny Welbeck. Actually, no, they will not bring in Welbeck. They're going to bring in Mkhitaryan. And he will... Let's see, who's going to make way for him? It's going to be Wilshere. Try to get a little wider here with Mkhitaryan, who's a little more of a outside playmaker. Former Manchester United guy, Armenian midfielder. And this is going to get Wilshere out of there. So he's going to go just after Iwobi and just before Ozil. So they feel like they're going to go for this. Nothing to lose at this point. They'd love to get a point. Manchester City, they'll probably get to the 60th minute, and then they may switch to more of a defensive tactic here. We'll see how that works out. So Arsenal kicked off in the first. Manchester City will kick off here, and that will be E5. Silva and E. That's going to be a defensive check. 34 is going to be steal to X for Arsenal. 10. So Chambers in X. 22 is a 4 in X, so that's a good pass. It's going to be a pass up to Xhaka and D. So you can get some penetration in here. 33 is going to be a shot. So Xhaka taking a bit of a longer effort from just outside the box. Get to add one that makes it 25. Chambers does not have an assist rating, so 25 is 24 is a shot on goal. And it's going to check Ederson with 14. That is a 10. Arsenal gets one back. The changes appear to have worked. A goal for Granit Xhaka, assisted by Alex Iwobi. And it is 2-1. So right off the bat, Arsenal, 48th minute, starts to apply a little bit of pressure, and they get one past Ederson. So City wondering if they should be a little more conservative here, but they're going to stick with their plan, and it's a kickoff E10. Right back where they started from as far as kicking off the half. So it's going to be Company in E is a 2, and E is going to be a shot. This is a long effort from Company. Not likely going to get anything from this. You have to subtract 3, so it's 16. That's a 25. So off target. Goalkeeper outlet. Arsenal outlets to X. And it'll be Mustafi in X. X is going to be a defensive check. And 25 is going to lead to a steal to D for Manchester City. And it's going to be Company in D. Okay, pass to D. Now they can choose, and they are going to choose. They're going to try to get it to De Bruyne. So they need they need anything from 11 to 56, and it's 31. So okay, they're going to go D2. De Bruyne, 21 in D is 26. So that's D6. Gundogan, 45 is 28 in D is going to be E4. Sane in E, haven't heard his name much. 62 is 39 in E is going to be a header to B. The loose ball gives it to Manchester City, so they're going to get a chance in close. It's going to be Silva in B. That's 35, and B is E4. Now we could... They're not going to try that again. So E4, it's going to be Sane, and E34 is 47. He's offside. So an indirect kick for Arsenal. C4 off the offside. So Mkhitaryan and C, 14 to 43, and C is going to be a header to C. Lost to Manchester City, X9. Laporte, 55th minute, still 2-1. And 23 in X is X9, so he's going to stick with that. Laporte again. 51 is 34, and that's going to be a defensive chance for Arsenal. You get his 32, which is a steal to X. They're going to get it outright. It'll be 7, so it'll be Bellerin. 65, 30, and X is going to be defensive check. Manchester City, 13, steal to B. And it will be B6. So Gundogan, 38 in B is a defensive check. So not able to get the ball to players that are going to get the job done. Steal to E. 10. Arsenal, Callum Chambers, and E26. That's a foul. Suffered by Chambers. Committed by player 6. So right dang down the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be Sane. No card. Free kick in E. Gets it to A. Okay, A2. Sorry, I was hearing something outside. Granit Xhaka. That's a 63. I think that's a foul committed by Xhaka. Suffered by player 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be Sane. And Xhaka will not get a card there. Manchester City, they're going to make their second change now. They're gonna bring in Fernandinho in replacement for Sane. Defensive midfielder. He's going to go right behind Silva. So hopefully he can provide a little more defensive support there. When they get around to their final sub, if the score stays this way, they'll probably bring in Yaya Toure in place of Sterling to avoid another yellow if they can. So it's going to be a free kick in X for Manchester City. B6. Gundogan in 6. 35, or in B. So 35 in B is a 40, so that's a defensive check. And a 21 for a 3 is going to be a steal to D for Arsenal. So they're going to steal it, take it to D. It's going to be Mkhitaryan. 13 will not be a shot. It'll be 21, which is it's going to make it C2. So Xhaka and C. 26 in C is a B1. Closer to goal, Lacazette, 16. It's 37, and B is going to be a defensive chance, so they can't. He gets stopped along the way, and it's going to be a header to F, and lost out to Manchester City, so they get an X. So Otamendi, an X. 42 is going to be a header to X. Loses it. I mean, they actually retain it, so they get it an X. 9, so Laporte. Another, it's going to be a header to F. And they still retain it. F10. Company in F. 44. It's going to be 25, and F is going to be F9. Laporte in F. 32 is going to be defensive check for Arsenal. 63rd minute, still 2-1. Man City, header to X. And it's going to be kept by Manchester City, X5. Seems like they've won most of the 50-50s. So Fernandinho in X. 28. It's going to be another defensive check. Get a lot of those. And it's going to be a straight steal to C. And it's going to be Xhaka. In C. 42 is 41. And C is going to be a header to A. Can they retain it this time? They do. So it'll be A6. It'll be Aubameyang and A. It's going to be a shot. So can they tie it here? 36 plus 5 plus 3. So 51, 52, 53. It's going to be shot on goal, and Manchester City, they're going to take a chance and use the rest of their clutch points here to make it that save opportunity again, and it's going to be 36, which is, well, that would have been a save, but instead it's going to be goalkeeper outlet. So they're down to 0 clutch points. So if they get a red card, they are basically screwed, but they're just trying to hold on to this lead. So goalkeeper outlet, F8. Delphin F. 55 is going to lead to 33 in F, which is going to be defensive check. 42, header to E. Maintained in E by Manchester City, E2. De Bruyne in E. 36 in E is going to be another defensive check, so he can't make anything of that. It's going to be a steal to D for Arsenal. Gunners, and it'll be Mustafi. Can't catch any breaks as far as who gets it. 21, 33 in D is going to be defense. 56 is a header to X. Lost, so Manchester City will get an X with 8, so it'll be Delph. And I'm going to go ahead and do, whoops, I'm going to do a shuffle now. We're a little low right now, so I'm going to take the rest of these guys and just shove them into random spots and then shuffle them up. maybe this will be the last shuffle we need, but I don't know. The way it's going, not sure. Also, we need to add another half a minute of stoppage time because there's been a second sub for Man City. We're going to have to get Arsenal's in here at some point. They may do both of theirs since they're behind. We'll see. Welbeck will definitely come in. The question is whether they'll have to go to 3 at the back and cost. Oh, this did mix up well. But whether they'd have to cost themselves a defensive point in order to maybe get a chance to score that tying goal. 2 more shuffles from the right side, and then we'll go. I like to do a couple of these jobs here. Okay, so Delvin X, 67th minute, 2-1 Manchester City. 21 is 22 in X, which is going to be X8. So that's the same result. 45 is going to be an out of bounds. All right, so now Arsenal, they're going to make their second change. They're going to hold off bringing in Welbeck for right now. It's going to be Ramsey. He will come in for Xhaka. So, trying to keep Xhaka out of yellow card trouble. He already has one, so this is 68th minute. Okay, so he is a 12. So he will actually just go right in where Xhaka was. About the same level of defensive competency too, but maybe a little better as far as actually getting shots and things. So, and this is the point where Manchester City is going to start locking it down a little bit here. We're going to the 4-5-1. So that's going to start limiting Arsenal a little more. So that's a throw in for Arsenal. E5. Ozil and E. It's going to be a header to E. They're going to lose it. X7. So Otamendi and X. 23 and X is going to be a defensive chance. 16 is a steal to D for Arsenal. So the Gunners. Lacazette in D, and it's 22, so he's going to get a shot here. And this time, Manchester City cannot do anything about this. So he's a 36. It's 33. That's a shot on goal. Ederson, 11 is going to be a rebound to B. He makes the save. He dives. And they lose it. So Manchester City gets X9. Laporte and X, 62, 46, and X is out of bounds. Throw in for Arsenal. X, 7. Bellerin and X, 42 is 36, and X is a header to B. Can they retain? They do. Gonna be Ozil and B. 30 to 25, and B is C2. Ramsey in C, 43. It's going to be a foul committed. Suffered by one. David Silva. That's not a card. So free kick X, 73rd minute for Manchester City. D2. De Bruyne in D4. That's going to be an A1 because they're playing such a defensive tactic. 44 ends up being a number 5 for De Bruyne. But 5 for D is actually not a shot. It's just a pass to A1. So they're going to get it in close with Sterling. 43 and A is a header to B. And they retain. And it'll be Sterling who gets it again in B. 31 is 10 in B. That's A2. So De Bruyne in A. And he is fouled in A. Committed by number 6. Sixth committed guy. Let's see. So it's going to be 1, 2, 5. So it's going to be Lacazette. Is it a card? 33, no. Is it? Okay, so because it's in A, this could actually be a penalty kick. If it's 11 to 26, it's 53, so it's not. So it's going to be a free kick from B. And De Bruyne will take it. That is a shot. Shot for De Bruyne. So it's B. So that makes it up to 36. And it's a 44. So that is a missed shot. Goalkeeper outlet. So check. We'll start it back the other way. F10. 77th minute, 2-1. It's going to be Chambers and F. 41 and F is 31. Defensive check. Block to X. Retained. Mustafi in X. 61. So we header to F. Retained. That'll be F1. So Lacazette in F, 35, 26 in F is going to be a defensive check. 14 is going to be a steal to B for Manchester City. Fernandinho in B. 14 is 33 in B is going to be E. And they're going to try to get it to De Bruyne. It's a 46, so they do. 12 and E is 46. That's going to be out of bounds regardless. All right, so Arsenal, they're going to make their third sub. They're going to bring off Chambers. They're going to go to back line of 3 of Bellerin, Kolasinac, and Mustafi. And on, they're going to bring Welbeck. So that's going to actually bring them down to 20. And it's going to drop their team defense down to 2. So Chambers off. Welbeck goes right there. So they're quite an offensive team right now. Manchester City will hold on to their final sub. 80th minute, 2-1 Manchester City. Arsenal with the ball. And a throw in, it's going to be X4. Mkhitaryan and X, 42. 32 and X is a defensive check. Steal to X for the Citizens, X10. Company in X64 is 37, and X is going to be a header to D. Retained by Manchester City, D3. Aguero and D. 42, header to D. Again, another check they lose at this time. So Arsenal gets X2. So Ramsey and X. 66 is going to be B1. That's the number 1. And in X, that's the only place is a pass to Lacazette and B. 23 and B is B1 again. 83rd minute. 63 is a foul committed by Lacazette. Suffered by 1, 2. Fernandinho. No foul, or no yellow card. So free kick X, Manchester City B1. Can they extend this lead? Sterling, no, 34 is going to be offside. So Arsenal is going to get an indirect kick. C4. Mkhitaryan and C, and that's a special result, 26. Handball on defender. Use the foul committed column to identify the defender. So it's going to be a foul committed and suffered by Mkhitaryan. Committed by 7. It's going to be Silva who committed it. This is in zone C. And no card. So free kick in C. It's going to be Ozil taking it again. He's also taking the corner kicks at this point. But anyway, the free kick from C is a pass to C. Ramsey and C, 36. 23 and C is C4. Mkhitaryan and C again, 33. That is going to be a shot. So 35 plus 1 is 36, and he got it from Ramsey, who's an 8 assist guy. So 34, 42, 43, and it's 56. That's off target. Can they get a corner kick here in the 86th minute? No, it's a goalkeeper outlet. So City outlets it to X, and Company that's out of bounds. Arsenal throw in B8. Bellerin and B, and he's going to commit a foul. Suffered by player 7. They can't just be 1 or 2. It's got to be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be Otamendi. Bellerin going to get a card? Nope. Free kick X for currently with 2 minutes of stoppage time. So B6. So Gundogan in B. That's going to be a shot. Will they get the insurance goal here from Gundogan? 26. We're saying De Bruyne, who is going to give him an extra 5. So that brings up to 35, and then add 3, 42. That's 61. That's off target. And that's a corner kick. And they're going to make their final sub at this point. So that's going to add another half minute. So it's going to be 2.5 minutes. They're going to bring out Sterling on Toure. Guy who did so much for this team back in the day. And so they're going to get a corner kick. And the corner kick from De Bruyne is going to be a pass to B, which is going to lead to a shot. And it'll be by Otamendi. So take the 26, so 35, and then add the 3, 42 again. That is going to be a shot on goal. Can check, save it. He dives, but is going to get past him. And that is the third goal. Otamendi on the set piece. They pick up another goal. And we'll give the assist to De Bruyne since we used his points. And that's going to about do it here for this one, I think. 90 plus 1. Otamendi. I'm going to say, someone might say, why didn't you use his clutch points? Use their clutch points to save that, but I really wanted to use it to steal, or maybe to, if they got a shot on goal, to have an absolute chance at a shot on goal. Or, 11 to 63. So Arsenal's going to get the kickoff. We're going to add another minute, so it's going to be 3 plus. So kickoff, E4. Mkhitaryan and E63 is foul committed. Suffered by 5. 1, 2, 3. Can do in. Let's shuffle them up real quick. This game is pretty much through, but just want to try and we're going to get it up through the 4th minute here. And if there's any continuous play for Arsenal, we would keep it going. But it was 2-0 after the first. I forgot to write that up there. 3-1 now, as Arsenal did pull one back early in the second half. But just in the first minute of second half stoppage time, it's Nicholas Otamendi having one fall at his feet. He smokes it home from 20 yards out. And that will be, probably will be pretty much all that they wrote here at the Emirates, as Arsenal will fall barring a major turn of events here. So Manchester City gets the free kick. That's C2. Now Arsenal is going to use 3 clutch points here. So that's going to be a defensive check, steal to B. And we're going to say to Lacazette. So let's see if he can get a shot card here, or if they're going to have to see what happens here. It's going to be 24. It's 23, and B is going to be B1 again. So he gets another chance at it here. 45 is 30, and B is D2. Ramsey, 46. That's out of bounds. Manchester City is going to throw it into F. 1, but we're in the 5th minute of stoppage time. That is going to be it. The whistle blows, and this is the end of Game 3 in Group C. It's going to be Arsenal losing 3-1 to Manchester City. Great effort by the Blues of Manchester. The away crowd going crazy here as Kevin De Bruyne scores 2 goals, one on a free kick goal, the other in the run of play. And then Otamendi picks up the insurance. Xhaka getting the goal for Arsenal right at the beginning of the second half. But 3-1 is your final here at the Emirates. And I got to tally up the stats later. So that is a game of APBA soccer in about an hour and a half. That was start to finish. I set up the teams, filled out the paper, got it played out. Didn't really rush too much. I think, and I even did use all the subs too. So Arsenal did have some clutch points left, but if things would have turned out a little differently there towards the end, I would have been using them to try and have a defensive chance to move it back into their offensive zone, basically a steal. I'm going to now bring you over to this page here. Let me just see. You can see it here. I'm going to put the results in for this game. Right here we go. Arsenal 1, Manchester City 3. So we've got 2 more games left in the 3-game day. It's going to be Burnley. Burnley is hosting Chelsea, and the Baggies, West Bromwich Albion, hosting Everton. So the tables currently as they stand, you got in Group A Tottenham with 2 wins. West Ham as well with 2 wins, but they played 3 games to Tottenham's 2. And then in 3rd place, you got Newcastle United. Crystal Palace, they've got a game. They have 1 win, but they've only played 2 games so far. So they still have a chance maybe to pick it back up again. Liverpool, Manchester United, they're going to be the ones duking it out for Group B. Liverpool currently on 7 points with 2 wins and a draw. Manchester United only 2 matches so far. They do have a draw and a win with that big Liverpool-Manchester United match still to come, and that will be in the 4th game day, as you can see there right up in the upper right-hand corner there. It's highlighted. I will play that on the channel here as well. In C, Manchester City, as you can see, has 6 points, and so they are looking like they're going to cruise. Then it's Stoke City with a win and a draw, currently level with Arsenal and with a game in hand over them. So Arsenal, they're in the 3rd seed right now, and but they do get to face a slightly easier opponent next, I do believe, which will be Leicester City, will be their final opponent. I think they lost points to. So they just lost to City, Arsenal did, and then they lost points to Stoke. So they did beat Huddersfield Town, but the only getting a point against Stoke right now at home is sort of the thing that's standing out. And then finally in this D group, you've got Watford and Chelsea up top. Watford with a couple of surprise wins. If we look here in Group D, you had Watford beating West Brom, not a surprise. And they beat Burnley, which is a little bit of a surprise. Now they're going to get this week off, but then they're going to go up against Chelsea and then Everton. Those are going to be two tougher matches. We'll see if they can hold on to that. But Chelsea's right there along with Everton. Everton with the draw in their only match. That was again against the Blues of Chelsea. So that's where things stand with this project. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out here. Sorry for the extreme close up to the side of my head. It shows you that I need a haircut. So, again, not a terribly long game. Excuse me. Just this is my way of. I like coming up with novel ways of trying to demonstrate the way games play through and getting results and just seeing what happens when you try things and mix it up a little bit. So this is a cup competition with Premier League teams. So far it's been pretty rewarding. We'll see what happens here the rest of the way. A little bit past the halfway point of the group stages, so we're going to keep plugging along. And hopefully be back tomorrow, maybe with some baseball. Most likely with some baseball. So until then, keep rolling your dice. Hit the like button on this video if you would. I would really appreciate it. Both Tabletop Earl and I would. I'm not going to... Well, I'll wish you Merry Christmas because it's the season for it, but I will see you before Christmas. Just keep rolling, hit the like, subscribe, and we will see you soon here on Tabletop Baseball Plus with more sports action on your tabletop. Have a great one.